everybody, welcome back to my movie review series. Today we'll be breaking down Never Back Down, a movie from 2008. Just got back from seeing it, just kidding. Saw it in 2008, recently rewatched it, probably, I don't know, within the past 2 months, but I have not seen it. All my other movie reviews, it's like right when I come back from the movie. But in the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial is going on, and again, obviously I knew Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean, but I was like, I've never really heard of Amber Heard. And I was watching just a couple clips of the trial on some CNN or YouTube or somewhere, and then they showed a clip, and I was like, holy shit, that was the chick from Never Back Down. So I figured, what a great time to break down the movie Never Back Down, because Amber Heard plays a girl called Baha Miller. And would I clap cheeks? Probably not now, probably would then. So I'll give you my overall grade, plot synopsis and character developments and major themes. Again, at the time, thoroughly enjoyed it, like great off of the first watching, and I still liked it. Rewatching it, but I'll give it an A-, and I'll explain why at the end. Well, just a movie great that I liked. But we have the quick overview. A frustrated, conflicted teenager arrives at a new high school to discover an underground fight club and meet a classmate who begins to coerce him into fighting. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, at the time, going into high school, everyone's been in a car and you're staring out the window and thinking about all these unrealistic things that aren't going to happen in your life, fantasy land. But I told you the story about literally trying to write a letter to graduate high school early and leave because I never made any fucking friends. Which at 29, or 29 this year, but definitely didn't make any fucking friends. So this movie just hit all the right buttons at the time for this flick to get a good grade. So you start off, Jake Tyler's playing some football. It's a real rainy day. He's tackling some dude on the other team. I think he's playing linebacker, and he's tackling some dude, and the dude makes some comment about his dad. And his dad, Jake Tyler's dad, had died. He was drunk one night, and Jake let him drive, and he ended up hitting Jake was in the car as well, but Jake's dad hit a pole or hit a tree and died. And so the football player on the other team, makes a comment about his dad. And so he says, "What'd you say?" and then punches him really hard, and the video clip goes viral. And so, again, Jake has a brother, Charlie, their mother, Margot, and they lose their father. That's not actually in the movie, but they're moving to Florida because Charlie is a tennis player and he's got into some academy down there. So after the initial fight scene, they move to Florida. So Jake is now at a new high school, right, basically on the first day he gets there, he sees a guy named Max Cooperman and Ryan McCarthy, and basically behind the stadium or just behind the bleachers fighting. Jake thinks it's an unsanctioned fight, jumps in to help Max, or just break up the fight. Max gets mad at him for why'd you break that up? I'm training to brawl, bro. Oh, I want this. And so Jake and Max become friends throughout the movie, but Jake goes to English class. And at English class, that's when you meet Baha Miller, who is Amber Heard, and the teacher asks them something about Achilles, the shield of Achilles, and all the high schoolers, they don't want to be educated. But Jake, he knows the secret piece of there's family life on his shield, meaning he's thinking of something other than war. And so it gets Baha Miller to talk to him after class, kind of some flirty tension, but maybe not show off on the first day. But Jake and Baha kind of get into some initial tensions at first. At the time, Baha Miller is dating Ryan McCarthy. And so that happens. Baha has some friends. I just have extras and groupies. Both Ryan McCarthy has some groupies and friends, and Baha Miller has some groupie and friends, just minor characters. And so Baha invites Jake Tyler to a party. And so Jake, obviously looking to clap some cheeks, I'll investigate this party. And so he takes a bus, goes to the party, sees Baha, he meets Ryan, and they're cool at this point. And then, they're these humongous houses. All these people in Florida have mega mansions, and Jake is living in an apartment with his brother and mother. And so they they basically have like, you know, huge party going on and then like a fight club back out on the beach area. And so Ryan and Jake, you know, Ryan wants to, like, they're watching fights and he's like, you know, I just want to go talk to the girls. Jake says that and Ryan's like, no, this is the main event, takes off the shirt, and then Jake Tyler versus Ryan McCarthy. Because they had seen, everyone at the school had seen the video clip of Jake punching the linebacker go viral. And so Jake, again, is just not having it. He's just like, I just want to be here for the girls. And then he's like, oh, who, Baja? And then, you know, brings her over and kisses her. And that's when you learn it's Ryan's girlfriend. And then Jake's still not having it. He's like, I'm just out of here. Ryan makes another comment about his dad. And then Jake, once again, he's conflicted. He has to fight back. So he gets beat up pretty bad. Loses the fight tremendously. I guess Max tells Jake that Ryan's been in karate since like 3 or something. But Jake takes a couple days off of school. Max comes over to, like, you know, hey man, get out of the house. Here's some training videos. Here's the guy I train with, John Roca, who has played, I don't know who plays, what the actor's name is, but I really like that guy as an actor. He's like black dude with a pretty interesting accent. He's in a bunch of movies. Jimon Hunsu. Sorry if I'm fucking up your name. But I liked him. And so John Roca, he's like the big MMA guy. And you learn throughout this time, well, we'll get to that. So Jake goes in there, he's like, you know, at first doesn't want to leave the house. Max gets him to go. He, you know, John Roca, what's called Jean Roca, I don't know what that name is. What's called Mr. Roca. Wants Jake to go in the beginning class with Max, and Max is like, no, he's got mad skills, bro. And so Jake gets put into a workout with an intermediate or advanced class and impresses Mr. Roca. So he gets on a regular training schedule. And the only rule is no fighting outside of the gym. So you have some time lapse. They're training. They get into another fight. There's like a yellow Hummer where the Hummer comes by, they get into some road rage. Jake gets out and beats up 3 dudes. And so the next day, he goes into Mr. Roca. He sees the scars on his hand. And he's like, you're out. That's the one rule. And so Jake leaves. And then they basically say the gym's called 365 Fitness. And it's because Mr. Roca lives there. And so they basically, Max, like, you know, we have to get you back in there. And so like they wait for him to go to the grocery store and then convince him to let Jake back into the training. He's like, if I've let you off once, if this happens again, we're done. And so Jake and Mr. Roca become friends. Jake tells Mr. Roca about how his dad died. Mr. Roca's brother, who I guess was a better fighter, they were in a bar one day. Some dude started attacking him. Mr. Roca's brother beat him up. And then the dude was disgruntled, came back with a gun and killed him. So Mr. Roca has some baggage, Jake has some baggage, they kind of bond over that. But then pretty early on, actually Ryan and Baja break up, and then, you know, they've got like yacht racing and jet ski racing and stuff. And Jake and Baja definitely start hanging out, definitely start having a relationship. Charlie's doing his tennis thing. Now what happens? Well, and then basically there's this thing called the beatdown, which is like this underground fight club where the fighters get a text like the night of the fight. And now Jake Tyler's got the girl. He's not really interested in the beatdown or whatever. And they're just kind of doing their thing. And so one day, you know, Ryan's really now got a beef out for Jake. So he has, you know, Max, like one day he's leaving the gym, the 365 club, and Ryan's like, hey, Max, come on, let's go do some sparring at my house. And so they go there, and he acts as like they're just like training, but he really just beats the shit out of him and leaves Max's beat up body like right outside of the apartment where Jake and Baja and Charlie are playing Indian poker. And that's to get Jake motivated to do the beatdown again. And so Max is in the hospital, says he fell down some stairs, and Jake, you know, goes back to the gym where Max's car is still there, and Mr. Roca's like, you know, did those boys that the Max got in the car with, they do something to him? and Jake's basically, yeah, I'm gonna go beat his ass, and he's like, you can't come back if you do. And I think he does that anyway, but there's no really resolution after the fight or after that scene. But so it goes to this beatdown, and that's the scene that's gone viral of like the dude in dreads doing a bunch of like flips and 360s in like an MMA match, and then Ryan McCarthy just comes and punches him down. That's from this movie. And so there's a couple rounds, and it's supposed to build up to be Jake and Ryan at the end. Jake wins his fights, but Ryan gets disqualified for eye gouging. And so right when that happens, Jake taps out, like literally, like they're like fight, and then he just taps out on the ground. It's like, I'm done with this. And so Jake goes out to the parking lot, and Ryan, calls him out there, and they have the big climaxing fight scene between Jake and Tyler, where Jake beats up Ryan. And so you get a big fight scene, Jake ends up winning, and then you have like some resolution at the end where they're all back at school. Ryan's beat up pretty bad, but Jake and Ryan are now on a mutual respect level. Max is there. Max gets a girlfriend. Jake is with Baja Miller. Mr. Roca, you don't really hear anything else about him after that. And that's about the end of the movie, with some minor scenes in between there. But again, overall grade, A-. When I first saw it, was like I said, definitely fun to watch, definitely exciting. Character development, again, just edgy high schoolers becoming more mature with some drama over girls. Similar movies, I don't know, not super similar, but the same type of deal would be like Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, where the guy moves to Japan and meets the girl, and it's the same kind of plot line. Not exactly super similar, but same type of, leave your hometown for being this edgy person. The guy in Fast and the Furious wrecks his cars all the time. Go to a new place and meet the girl, be the outsider, the gaishin in whatever that movie is, and gaishin, I don't know what the Japanese word is, but and then get the girl at the end. So again, pretty standard high school movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed it at the time. A-. And again, major themes. MMA, because I had interest in training MMA, not really fighting, but like training MMA. That was definitely something I had interest in. But again, moving to another city and getting the girl, that would definitely be the major theme of this movie. Which again, driving on a car trip in high school, just thinking about all the shit that would never happen, like solving all of science or becoming a musician. That would never happen. But going to a new town and meeting a girl is definitely a fantasy of mine for sure. Or just meeting a girl anywhere at this point, for fuck's sake. But so that's major themes, and there you have it. But a quick funny story. My old fat fuck friend Brennan was when we first watched this movie in 2008. We went with some girls, and he was like, at the end of the movie, he says, "Me and all the girls decided I was the badass." Yeah, Brandon, aren't you a guidance counselor at the high school you went to? Yeah, you're the badass, man. Yep, that's you. So, just a quick story, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, so A-. So there is my review for Never Back Down. Thanks for watching.